How long does it take to fly to the moon? The duration of a trip from Earth to the moon varies significantly depending on factors such as fuel availability, the moon's orbital position, and the mission's objectives. Reaching the moon is no easy feat. The natural satellite orbits Earth at an average distance of 384,400 kilometers. Based on lunar missions over the past decades, travel time has ranged from as short as 8 hours to as long as 4.5 months. The fastest artificial object to pass by the moon was NASA's New Horizons probe, launched in 2006 to study Pluto. New Horizons flew past the moon approximately 8 hours and 35 minutes after launch, according to Live Science. For missions with the moon as their destination, however, the journey typically takes longer. In 1959, the Soviet Union's Luna 1, humanity's first lunar mission, took 34 hours to reach its target. This unmanned spacecraft was meant to collide with the moon's surface, but missed by 5,995 kilometers. It eventually lost contact when its batteries depleted and continues to drift in space to this day. In 1969, when Apollo 11 astronauts landed on the moon, the crew took 109 hours and 42 minutes to travel from launch to Neil Armstrong's historic first step on the lunar surface. The variability in travel times to the moon is largely due to fuel considerations. Engineers have found that using less fuel can extend the trip but still accomplish the mission by leveraging the natural gravitational forces of celestial bodies like Earth to guide the spacecraft on a longer trajectory. For example, in 2019, Israel's unmanned spacecraft, Bereshit, aimed to land on the moon. After launch, it spent approximately 6 weeks orbiting Earth in increasingly larger loops to build momentum before its final push toward the moon. Although the spacecraft reached its destination, it crash-landed due to a loss of contact with mission control. The crash, 48 days after launch, inadvertently scattered thousands of tardigrades, microscopic organisms, on the moon's surface. NASA's Capstone spacecraft holds the record for the longest flight to the moon. This 25-kilogram CubeSat took 4.5 months to complete its journey in 2022. It orbited Earth several times before transitioning into lunar orbit. CAPSTONE, short for Cislunar Autonomous Positioning System Technology Operations and Navigation Experiment, was deployed to test the lunar orbit planned for NASA's Gateway space station. Regardless of the trajectory, every mission to the moon involves several critical steps. Between 60 to 90% of the total launch weight is dedicated to the fuel required to escape Earth's gravity and enter space. Once in orbit, spacecraft must use as little fuel as possible to achieve the optimal path to their destination, since carrying more fuel adds weight and cost. Finally, the spacecraft must perform a burn to leave Earth's orbit and head toward the moon. Mark Blanton, who leads NASA's analysis for missions from the moon to Mars, explains that the mission's purpose plays a significant role in determining travel time. Space agencies evaluate the available rockets and their propulsion capabilities. The rocket's performance and the mission's goals dictate the size of the spacecraft. Once all requirements are established, specialists design the most efficient trajectory, he says. Every detail, spacecraft design, crew size, fuel distribution, and mission objectives, can influence how long it takes to travel to the moon.